I don't know if you've seen, there's been this really bizarre string of food processing plant disasters across the U.S. I know that sounds kind of weird, like what, like food processing plants, but I mean, this is something that has like, real life implications on Americans, and no one is talking about it and has real consequences. And the fact checkers are out in full force on this one. Fact checkers have already determined that this is just a conspiracy theory cooked up by right-wing radical Tucker Carlson. And, when they come after Tucker and they call something a conspiracy theory, there's probably some truth to it.
Well, they're getting pretty good at it
Yeah.
because, like you said, a lot of people haven't even heard of this yet, or if they have, it's just been kind of a passing mention, like, oh, this is kind of a weird thing that's happening. But now the fact checkers are trying to get out ahead of the narrative. They're
Yes.
trying to cut off the narrative before we even can talk about it at all. So they're getting pretty quick on the draw there.
Yeah, it's like if you even begin to question anything, they just jump in and say, oh, no, you can't question that. No. It's like we were talking earlier, there's a fact check going around now about that movie, 2000 Mules, and they're literally fact checking a movie trailer and saying, oh, no, that's not real. So this is just how they are. But there's been over, I think, 24 or close to 24 food processing plant fires or disasters. There was a case where a plane flew into a food processing plant in Idaho, and then within days, a plane flew into a food processing plant in Georgia. I'm not sure that planes just fly into food processing plants, and, it's just another day in America. And this isn't isolated to one area of the country. We're talking about East Coast, West Coast. I think even in Canada, it's happening. Large processors, small processors. It's alarming. And this all comes as we've been warned that a food shortage is coming. Even the president has warned about this. We've talked about implications that the Russia-Ukraine war is going to have on food supply. So, Grant, why do you think no one wants to talk about this?
I don't know. I mean, I think that in order for there to be, these fact checkers who don't want it to get out and they're trying so hard to not let this story out, like you said, that makes me think that there's some sort of, nefarious thing going on, some sort of story behind it more than just a series of coincidences. And I already would think that because if you're talking about, fires happening or things of that nature, sure, that happens at food processing plants. That happens everywhere, I'm sure, but especially at, somewhere that has big machinery and all these type of things. I'm sure that there are fires and things like that happen. But when you have multiple planes crashing into food processing plants, I feel like the odds of that happening in different parts of the country within days of each other are just so slim. I feel like there's got to be something going on, and like you said, I feel that these fact checkers typically have a left-wing bias, and so if they're trying to cover something up, then they're probably trying to cover it up because it reflects poorly on the left in some way.
It blows my mind. They're trying to say that what we're seeing is just totally normal. Yeah, there's nothing suspicious. Yeah, food processing plants, they just randomly combust. And planes, yeah, they just randomly fly into these. And no, you conservative are wrong for questioning the reality of things. It's like they don't even live in the same world as us. It's super alarming. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, if there's something nefarious behind this? If someone is causing this, or some organization or group of people, and the fact checkers and all the left-wing media are in on it, what's the incentive for them to do this? What's the incentive to cause a food shortage? I mean, all I can think is it's more power for them, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you did have Biden warning that food shortages are coming and that they're going to be real. I think we talked about at the time that being just such a shocking thing coming from the president of the United States. I mean, you have the previous president where people had their issues with him and his Twitter and whatever, and him saying mean things. But under this administration, we're seeing basic necessities being hard to come by because of the failures of this administration. And so I think when you put it in that context, it just makes you realize how deep seated this problem really is. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen research to be able to connect these food processing disasters to food shortages that Biden has talked about,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's at least suspicious that it's coming around the same time. These things are in the same sort of category. So I don't know. Something feels like it's off.